Hey everybody, it's Ken Christian, and this is day 34 of my YouTube 90-day challenge. Yesterday I posted on my book page on Facebook a quotation from Franz Kafka. And here's what the quotation says. From a certain point onward, there is no longer any turning back. That is the point that must be reached. It's a fantastic, fantastic quotation, one of my favorites. And another of Kafka's says, people talk about, I'm not going to quote this, but people talk about a day of judgment. And he says, in truth, the day of judgment is always present. It's like every day in some way. You need to put yourself, if not being judged by some God or some figure who's going to make decisions about you, you need to put yourself on the line and make a judgment. Now, those are strong statements and strong words, but it's really incredibly true. And I'll show you what I was holding up. This is my paperback, Your Own Worst Enemy. And I came across or came to own this particular copy of Your Own Worst Enemy in an incredible way. I was doing a workshop last spring as a guest of a group of recruiters who are in North Carolina, and some of them are colleagues of mine and so on, and others are clients. And I was attending this, and while there, a woman walked up to me and she said, "I've got a copy of your book, would you please sign it?" And I said, "I'd be happy to." And then she showed me this particular copy of the book, and let me see if I can get it up. It is extremely well marked. Everywhere, every single page in this book, it's even here on the title page. Let me see if I can get that around. It says, "I'm realizing," it's got a date, and it says, "I'm realizing that this book is about coming up against the system, and it's either put up or shut up. Stand up and be accounted for. Sit down and waste away your life." And then there's page 30 regarding Hermann Hesse and so on and so forth. And if you go through this, I mean, as an author, to see what somebody did with this book and the way they marked it, I have no idea who this person was. There was no name left. But they went through it time and time again. But that stand up and be accounted for is directly related, I think, to the Kafka quote. At least it is in my mind. I don't know whether it was to the reader. But it is true. A lot of time we waste is wasted in indecision and trying to make the perfect choice instead of moving ahead and knowing that no single course do we wind up staying on that we take. I started this YouTube challenge in a particular way, and I've told you again and again that it's expanding, that my understanding of what I can do with this vehicle is expanding nearly daily, but also my understanding of what's possible for me keeps growing in terms of connections I hadn't made before. It's not so much that I'm learning I had new talent. It's that I'm learning to come up against things that I did shy away from more than I was realizing, like technical challenges. I was being kind of a technical wuss, and I am not a master yet, but I've been attending a lot of classes at the Apple Store because I realized I plunged in with my Mac a long time ago and just went and used it and figured it out, and there's more that I can learn, and each time I go, I get suggestions from somebody there, a teacher or whatever, about some new thing I can do. So you can do the same thing, but at some point, you have to decide whether it's about a 90-day YouTube challenge or not, about your direction. Because here's something you need to know. In the research literature, speed of adoption, how soon somebody adopts something they learn, is absolutely related extremely closely to how far somebody goes with what they've been given and what they learn. And so What slows speed of adoption down is this back and forth consideration. Is this the right thing? Is that the right thing? If you've been thinking about a 90-day challenge or any other aspect of your life and trying to decide, just do something that even is slightly more interesting to you and write the others down, and you can always return to them. But I've told you several times recently that the research shows that when you go with your first choice, it often actually is highly the one you prefer. It's just that you didn't know it until you released and let yourself actually choose it, because you're hanging on to this idea that you ought to make a perfect choice. There's no perfect path in life, but by approximation, you get closer and closer to the center of who you are by paying close attention to the responses you have and to what your eagerness to learn brings you toward. So enjoy this Sunday. Of course, relax and enjoy yourself on day 34 of my challenge. Since it's my challenge you're watching, I can tell you, please relax, enjoy. But I look forward to continuing to talk to you over time. And carry this with you, though. Make a decision and move. There is a point where you have to just go forward and commit yourself and then stay with it. Don't bail. Stay with it deeply. Stay with it for 90 days. If in 90 days you don't really feel that something is deeply engaging to you, then you can switch, but you may find that along the way several other new ideas have occurred to you for good pathways to take, and it's all going to become some beautiful voyage. Okay, talk to you again soon.